right, what's going on, Conscious Crew, TGIF? Hope you guys had a wonderful work week. You already know what we're here to get into. Before we do so, please go ahead and run the likes all the way up. You guys know that thumbing up the video not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another Conscious Crew member and telling them to get their black asses into the sanctuary, because the Kane gets, in fact, what? Kane gang. So whether you part of the replay gang active for me in real time, or you are or nasty piece of bush, baby, I need you to swing and bang and bully the hell out of that like feature. It don't cost you nothing. But speaking of not costing you nothing, you can always bless the King if you appreciate everything the King does here at $Consciouztv on Cash App and or PayPal.me/Consciouztv. And of course, that's conscious but with the Z on the end, just like it is here on the channel. All donation information and social media handles are in the description box below, as well as scrolling from right to left at the bottom of this here live stream in red and white. And my moderators also rotate the motherfucking links. And if you would like to be a moderator, please let me know. Email me at consciouztv@gmail.com. All you guys to do, baby, is be promoting the hell out of the King throughout the live streams. Oh, and you got to be a regular. Ain't no point in you wanting to be a moderator, but you only here once out of the month, honey. You know, you want to be a regular smegular degular. You ain't got to be here for every single live stream, but you need to be here enough, baby, to be here enough, okay? And all you got to do, baby, is just raise hell for the King, baby, okay? Share out the links, encourage the people to share out the stream, to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the donation links, all of that good jazz, shy. If that's something you like to do, all right, and you want to be a part of the community over here, then you go ahead and email me at consciouztv@gmail.com. All information is in the description box below. What's up? Make sure that you have your notification bell set to all. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your MySpace, dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you and Fatly the link. Let them whores know that we're out live and in color. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, what's going on, Conscious Crew? First and foremost, I'm just letting y'all know right now, baby. I'm trying not to be here for a long time, but I got a feeling we're gonna be here for at least an hour, probably a little over an hour. But my allergies are kicking my ass, y'all. I was in them streets real bad last night, real bad, girl. Set it ablaze, honey. Painted the town red, purple, blue, girl. All the colors of Moses and the LGBT's rainbow. So my allergies are tore up. I am sniffly. I am nasally. So, girl, right after I get done here, I'm going to eat me some dinner, take my Benadryl, and then I'm gone, baby. Unless there's an episode of Love Island, episode 4 coming out tonight. Now, Love Island has said, Peacock had said that their new schedule was going to not include Sundays and Tuesdays. But I see so far, no, I think it was Wednesdays and Sundays. But I see so far they've been pushing a new episode every day of the week so far. So I'm assuming there's going to be an episode tonight as well, girl. If you guys have not gotten into Love Island USA, season 8? Get into it, girl. Me and Reckless are going to be bringing you guys the reviews of all reviews. We will be having a review for this week's first 5 episodes next week. That's how we're doing the reviews. If you didn't catch our last live where we addressed some of the controversy coming into this season, then check that out. All the information to the Instagram group chat is there, girl. We have been cackling in the group chat, girl. It feels so good to have people to talk about Love Island with. Reckless put me on to Love Island. I have been in a Love Island chokehold ever since. Season 7 and 8 of Love Island USA were off the chisane. And season 8 is starting off a little slow, but they're finally starting to crank it up, child. So super excited about that. We'll be seeing you guys with a review. I don't know what day next week. I forgot, child. But all the information, child, is in the last live. Now, today, we got to get into a few things, girl. We got to get into some criminal cases, some civil cases. We got to get into some celebrity shenanigans and all the things. And before we do so, once again, please thumbs up the video. We need all the things. And make sure that you guys are sharing, and subscribe so that you can interact in real time, girl. Okay? Because that subscribers only is always, girl. It's always on. So let's get into Miss Latto Kimberly, girl, the original Nicki Minaj child. She is out here being dragged, girl, because she apparently has refused to give credit to the creator that has created a boom cat count to one of her old joints, girl. And the creator is mad as hell that Kimberly is not accrediting him, etc. He, I guess, believes that she is passing on this dance trend as her own or as a original. It's like a whole conversation happening right now. So let's get into that mess, girl. Courtesy of Neighborhood Talk, who is wrong? Creator of viral Lil' Kim Not Tonight challenge says he deserves credit for making the song go viral. Lil' Kim let me down, quote, and this is him to the right, getting his dance on, Gria. So let's get into it. We're not gonna, oh, so this is her talking, let me see.
You know, like I said, but the jump off has gone viral. Quiet Storm, you know, the
TikTok's all over it.
exactly.
Little TikTok is now
They're all over it. So now, Not Tonight is going viral. So.
All right. So they're going to come and show us the thing?
Yeah, my gang's here.
Come on, gang. Let's go.
Come on, Kaya, she's the TikTok teacher.
Okay. All right.
So
Let's get up and do some.
Yeah, I'm going to come in the middle. You guys stay
Mom
up
and Dad
there.
dancing in the back.
You can do this.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, Tay.
Come on, Tay.
Okay, so they're about to do it, girl. They're about to do it. Boom, cat, boom, cot. Baby, screws coming loose, bolts coming loose, kneecaps buckling, baby. That's all right, though. Because when the Lord is behind your knees, baby, who can be against them, baby? Not even an old nasty piece of TikTok choreography, child. So let's get into the creator here. Girl, he is swirling and twirling, baby. Yes, God. Shout out to Natural Hair Don't Care. All right. So as you guys can see here, he asks Lil' Kim on X and says, Lil' Kim not only let me down, but she let the people down as well. I don't think some understand. This trend is global, from South Africa, Australia, Paris, and more. Black people, Saltine people, Chinese people, and etc. have hopped on this trend, not to mention the dozens of celebrities, girl. So this man don't know why Lil' Kim is struggling, girl, to give him proper due diligence for the trend. I don't know whether Kim got half of her jaw so shut, girl. Maybe she's on a liquid diet. You know, Kim is kind of dizzy. As talented as Kim is a little dizzy, girl. She do be a little dazzled, so she might not have known exactly where the trend came from. Maybe she just woke up one day in her bonnet, girl, and saw that this dance craze to her song Not Tonight was all over the IGs and TikToks and just went along with it. I don't really know. Kimberly is a pretty fan-friendly celebrity. So I can't imagine that she has nefarious intentions. However, girl, celebrities are weird as hell. So Kimberly, that man calling you out, girl, he want his credit. And I know Kimberly mine probably is like, bitch, please. you wouldn't even have a trend if it wasn't for my artistry that gives you something to trend. But then the creators' mentality is like, bitch, please. Your old ass 20-year-old track wouldn't even be retrending and re-relevant if it wasn't for my current creativity. So it seems to me, baby, that what's good for the goose is good for the egg. So maybe the egg and the goose need to come together, baby. Maybe mother and daughter need to come together and make it a family affair. You can't have one without the other. You can't have successful art without the love and support of the people. So hopefully Lil' Kim is not trying to get her Nicki Minaj on grab. Hopefully she ain't trying to Nicki Minaj this man. Okay, Lil' Kim, please don't be holding all the hog and all the damn clout for yourself. Give that man his just dues. Fly him out. I was gonna say on Spirit Airline, girl, but at this point, girl, Spirit done became a damn spirit and done transitioned to be with the Father, Son, and the Holy Daughter, girl. Put his ass, girl, on the back of a mariachi bandwagon, girl, and ship him on into town, girl. Let him boom cat with you, child. Okay, just make it right so we can all move it along. Who y'all think right or wrong? Y'all think Lil' Kim gotta give Afro his credit because he got success off of her original content, or y'all think the creator has a point and wanting a little bit of respect for giving new life to her old shit? All right, let me know in the comment section. Moving along, because speaking of the rap girls, baby, they got it going on this docket. Ooh, apparently and allegedly, our hot girl herself, Megan Thee Stallion, is being sued by stylists who claims that she owes $1.2 million in unpaid styling and wardrobe fees. Meg's team denies allegations, claiming an audit had uncovered fraudulent invoices. Excuse me, y'all, drinking on this damn soda. Fraudulent invoices, unsupported charges, and shipments that couldn't even be verified. Now, when I first saw this man, girl, I said, now, when in the hell did Portia's ex-husband, Simon, start styling Megan Thee Stallion? Simon ain't told me, girl, that he is dressing the stars down there to the Oscars and the Emmys and the VMAs and the BET Awards. Girl, Simon Williams ain't told me nothing, all right? Now, this ain't Simon, but it damn sure look like it could be Simon's brother, girl. And these are apparently some of the looks that he has graced the queen, has drenched the queen in, Gria. Okay, look at her looking real regal and urban here. Giving Queen Aphrodite, Queen Wakanda. I like that. Okay, B.O.B., so they're calling you Bob. Okay, this is Caillou, girl, giving high end. I love the titty shot. Okay, giving regal Megan. See, this is the Meg right here that was with Clay, girl. Okay, this is Megan when she in her mixed nigga bag. Styling her down to the ground. Here's another little girl, straight up out of Wakanda. I'm loving it. Ooh, okay, giving high fashion. I love that. This is a great look. This is real gaudy, real urban, girl. Yes, real hot girl shit. I love this fit. I'm loving this too. It's simple, yet it's sexy. You cannot miss, girl, with an all black ensemble, girl. Every woman needs a little black dress. Hell, at this point, every nigga needs a little black dress, you know what I mean? So, yeah, chat. So, they claiming, girl, he's a fraud. She wasn't paying for anything that they couldn't verify and clarify with receipts, girl, upon an audit. Well, Megan Thee Stallion has also responded to said lawsuit, child, claiming that she owes stylists $1.2 million. Quote, the facts are on our side, and I won't be coerced into paying charges that can't be substantiated. All right. In a statement provided to People, she strongly denied the allegations. Quote, my finance team conducted a comprehensive audit of Eric Archibald's wardrobe expenses and uncovered fraudulent invoices, unsupported charges, and styling shipments tied to a dress that could not be verified. Those findings raised serious concerns about the legitimacy of expenses that we repeatedly tried to resolve privately with Eric's team. Rather than address the issues from the audit, Eric and his team chose to file a freaking lawsuit. The facts are on our side, and I won't be coerced into paying charges that can't be substantiated. Now, we know this is the damn cliff. The Teflon Don. I don't know why these people be playing with Meg. We'd have had a photographer try to play with Meg and say she was eating box in the back of the damn taxi cab and baby. Now we got a damn now we got a so-called stylist coming through, girl, claiming that she done ran off with $1.2 million worth of services, baby. And the Teflon Don said, we got the receipts for the receipts for the receipts for the receipts, girl. So it looked like another girl need that, gotta have that, and it's gonna be ran that by Miss Megan. Girl, Megan the kind of bitch, girl, even if she do you wrong, it's best to just let it go, child. Megan is the kind of chick, girl, even if she did wrong in the situation, at this point, given a track record, baby, just go ahead and walk away. Pray by the girl. They say vengeance is the Lord's. Leave her ass in God's hands, baby. Don't you try to pick up that damn mantle, baby. Don't you try to pick up your staff like Moses, girl, and part the damn Red Sea, because you will be the one cracked all in the side of your motherfucking ass, okay? Leave that damn lady alone. Of course, we're going to be keeping up with the goings-ons, and I'll be letting y'all know, girl, how this litigation is going to be playing out. Given that Solange is in the picture, I got a feeling things are going to be in favor of the Stallion. Oh, yes, God. But speaking of the Stallion, girl, the media defendant, non-media defendant girl, as we reported a few days ago, who is begging and crying about homelessness and how her and her chairman's going to have to live out of a IKEA cardboard box out of the back of the Golden Corral, girl, after Megan Thee Stallion is done wiping her motherfucking ass across the courtroom floor again. You guys know that Milagro Scams initially had a small legal victory in the defamation cyberstalking lawsuit by Megan Thee Stallion when a Miami, Florida jury decided to conclude that Milagro was a media defendant. And because in the state of Florida, they considered her a media defendant, the stipulation for a defamation lawsuit is that the plaintiff must send the media defendant, in this case, a cease and desist, which of course Megan Thee Stallion did not do because they did not consider this raggedy bitch who be playing Wendy Williams in the dark in a big ass pamper in the back of a townhouse no goddamn media defendant, child. So that $15,000 count got dropped against Milagro. However, Megan Thee Stallion says, bitch, don't hold your horses or your breath, girl. They went in for post-litigating and decided to litigate that fact and recently got a reversal on that defamation count, untitling Milagro as new media girl and reinstating the original defamation count, which concludes Megan's victory across all three counts against Milagro in favor of Miss Megan Thee Stallion. Now, Miss Milagro owes Megan Thee Stallion $75,000 as it relates to those counts. And when the post litigations are concluded, Meg is going to be able to go in and also send in all her invoices that she occurred while suing this bitch over a year and 3 months worth of a time, which is probably going to be somewhere between $500K and $1 million motherfucking dollars. Okay, so the overall conclusion of this matter financially is going to be off the chisane. Well, as a result of that, Milagro done went in and begged the judge to halt. Okay, all litigating right now as it relates to this judgment until she can use ChatGPT to file an appeal against Megan's appeal, or else, girl, Megan is going to be able to take Milagro through the same valley of the shadow of financial deaths that Miss Transrena Kibi is experiencing at the hands of Cardi damn B. All right? Milagro Gramz reportedly asked judge to pause payments to Megan Thee Stallion during appeal, says paying the $75K judgment could cause financial hardship. Of course it could, you big damn dummy. Now it's going to be up to the judge to decide if they want to be lenient upon Milagro or not. Megan will have the opportunity to have a say-so and to argue why the judge should not honor Milagro's stay account. More than likely, they're going to pull all of Milagro's post-verdict narcissism and how she got out here on Trasha's platform and got out here on Barnyard Wiggins' platform and was beating her motherfucking titties like she was King Kong, girl, and had just tore the Wicked Witch down, girl. No, ma'am. Okay? I'm sure they're going to drive the judge to the best of their ability, girl, to not bang that gavel in favor of Milagro. However, given that the bitch is broke as hell, practically operating as a damn single mammy, at this point having the damn self-represent, girl, the courts may take all that into consideration. When you are self-representing, typically the courts will bestow mercy upon those bust down. So she may get some favor, but we gonna see, all right? I wouldn't be surprised if the judge, though, grants her a little grace and suspends the judgment until all litigation is completely and utterly settled, child. But I will once again be keeping you guys posted on all updates. Milagro is a perfect example, along with her handler, Trasha Coochie K, girl, of what happens when you F-A-F-O. Moving along. Because speaking of, once again, girl, we got a rap docket full, girl, Cardi B. And talking about financial judgments, Billboard Hip Hop just reported that Cardi B wants Trasha Transrena Kibi Studios yelling ass to pay all $110,000 of her legal fees in the aftermath of her breaching the disparagement clause between herself and Cardi B. Check this out, girl. Cardi B wants Trasha K to pay up. The rapper is seeking more than $110,000 in legal fees after a judge ruled that the blogger violated the terms of a bankruptcy settlement tied to Cardi B's $4 million defamation lawsuit. According to court filings obtained by the Billboard, Cardi's attorney says the fees stem from over 100 hours spent monitoring and documenting Trasha K's alleged violations across social media platforms and public broadcasts. Now, you guys know the judge was waiting on this, girl. The judge said that Cardi B's attorneys didn't even have to prove a litany of violations. If they could just prove a few, girl. If they could just prove 1.5, hunty, that Trasha's ass was gonna be as raw and green as grass, maybe. Okay? Now, Cardi B done tallied up her invoices, girl, and she done concluded over $100,000 in motherfucking court fees, baby, and she want all her money, baby. 110,075 motherfucking cents, and you better give her the 75 too. So, Trasha, baby, I told y'all, she just partnered with some branding company that helps you to get international reach and all of this and all of that and blah, 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 baby. Cardi B got Trasha K ass motherfucking working. Y'all know Cardi B not only just got this verdict against Trasha on top of the $4 million verdict from Trasha, but because Trasha has breached the disparagement clause within the bankruptcy agreement, it's looking that her bankruptcy case is also going to be completely dissolved as well, because the judge is pissed the fuck off and sick of Trasha K. And from the beginning, they signed and went over this bankruptcy agreement, organize her finances, this disbursement clause, and it was utterly clear that Trasha K ass would stay out of trouble. She would not violate the terms. She would pay quarterly and annually like she's supposed to, and that everything would be fine. And if there was any motherfucking issues, girl, that means bankruptcy was out of here. And the judge practically told her, girl, if these attorneys find foul play, you're done. You're done. And it was looking like, girl, the bankruptcy was going to be done. And then to make matters worse, they're talking about how Cardi might be colluding with the motherfucking feds and that this whole bankruptcy shit could easily convert into a criminal case. And then to make matters worse, if they were not already worse, y'all know Cardi B just recently also sued Trasha K's wife, Shaq, for colluding with Trasha in creating the shell company, who's yelling that it actually is KB, but it done damn transition genders, girl. And so now it's no longer damn KB, it's now damn yelling, and all of that is illegal, embezzled. Baby, shout out to my boy Storm Monroe. Oh, yes, God. So, baby, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are working these hoes, baby. Them hoes must have been Johnny Cochran's in their past life or very successful presiding judges in their past life, girl, or worked for the damn feds in their previous life, girl. It's giving Laura Croft and where in the world is Carmen Sandiego at this goddamn point. This is one interesting dynamic duo, girl. So $100,000. That's why Trasha need all the help she can, baby, in expanding her reach from national to global, because the more clicks and views and the more subscriptions on her website, the more she'll be able to keep up, girl, with all of the financial burden that she is undertaking as a result of fucking with Cardi damn B. My God, today I'll be keeping you all posted, period. Now, speaking of Cardi, girl, Cardi and Miss Goddamn Latto got it going on. Y'all know that, a year ago? Was it a year ago, maybe? Oh, yeah, it was a year ago, because that bitch struck my motherfucking channel. Bitch, I'm going to still snatch your wig for that, Cardi. Y'all remember last year when Ice Spice and... Is it Ice Spice? Ice Spice? I think it's Ice Spice. Ice Spice shot. And Cardi B had it going on. And Cardi had done caught the manager and done cussed the manager clean out because apparently Ice had dissed her on a record. Cardi B was going the fuck off saying she not PUSS like Latto. I guess the management leaked the damn call. Latto girl was in her fifis. It was a whole mess. Y'all know Latto and Cardi, both light-skinned girls, so they trauma bond through light-skinned privilege shy. And I guess Latto held it all in. Once the damn conversation leaked, Cardi B was trying to suppress the damn audio. She came over here flagging my damn channel, flagging other damn YouTubers, girl. Kiss my ass, Brim. And then she caught herself making a public apology, girl, talking about, she would buy the lady a bag. She would buy the lady a Birkin bag. Bitch, you better, girl, I want the money from the Birkin bag, bitch. Don't buy me no motherfucking $50,000 ass bag. Put the motherfucking $50,000 in the motherfucking Birkin bag, bitch. And come and hand deliver it to me on your motherfucking knees, ho. Fuck you talking about? So, Latto, who's now pregnant with the rap versions, she's pregnant by the rap version of Nick Cannon, girl, 21 Savage, who got 57 million living. Baby mama's got a whole harem, girl, Latto over there living her best life as a damn sister, wife, child. And she's come out with her quote unquote retirement album. She retired. Am I the only one? But I felt like Latto barely happened. It's interesting that she want to retire from a career that, if you let me tell it, was barely there. Like, girl, Latto barely happened. I mean, did she even win a damn BET award? What is she retiring from? Now hip hop done wore her motherfucking ass out already, baby. Now she done aged like milk and carrying them doublemint twins. I don't understand. It makes sense for Nicki to retire, Consciouztv to retire, Jay-Z to retire, even Drake can retire, Kendrick can retire, Latto in retirement. Bitch, I feel like Latto went to... I feel like Latto went to one of them agencies that outsource jobs for you, girl. I feel like she went to a temporary agency and applied to be a rapper. Does anybody else feel like that? Let's just have a 10-minute moment. I want y'all to think on that for 20 seconds. Do y'all think that Latto went to a temporary agency and applied to be a rapper, girl? Give me 20 seconds. And we're back. Girl, it's giving temporary agency time me. Nonetheless, she went on to push down there, girl, pregnant and all, to the Breakfast Club, girl, the iHeartRadio. And Miss Lorman asked her the hard question, girl, which was, why your baby hair's glued down this far out? But then she asked her the second hardest question. What's the verse on Latto's new record about Cardi B? And this is what Miss Latto had to say.
And on that, you have a verse where you talk about, you know, you say, bitch said what, let's clock it. Really got a Hermes store in my closet. Talking about buying Big Mama a bag like a nigga ain't already bought it. Like my nigga ain't already coming off racks. Big bank, big facts. And we know that Cardi apologized publicly to you after she went on that rant against Ice Spice and mentioned you, and mentioned buying you a bag in private. And then this line came in. The fans were like, is she talking to Cardi? What's going on? Like, everybody's trying to piece it together and figure that out.
Well, yes, yeah, it was about Cardi. Like we were saying earlier, like I rap about what's going on in my life at the moment. At the time, well, first of all, I made this album over 9 months. I made the album while I was pregnant. And yeah, I was at an early stage of my pregnancy. And I rushed to the studio to do this verse for her in time for the first week sales, whatever. And
For Airtime.
yeah, for Airtime remix. And literally like 2 days later, I'm see all over the internet, I'm being called pussy. I'm pregnant, emotions high, like
Hormonal.
you know, yeah. And it's someone I dead ass looked at as a friend. Like I understand this you know, industry shit first too, but we was on a texting basis. So I feel like, yeah, you tweeted to the world, but we got each other number. You know?
So y'all never talked personally after that, around that.
So then like probably like 2 months later or something like that, she did text me, but by that time I'm like, that ain't even like, I'm not even thinking about that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? So
Have y'all spoke since then?
Since the song has...
Never spoke since the record came out.
Would you be open to the conversation, or you just...
Yeah, I'm open to the conversation. When? I don't know, because I got a baby now and some more shit. Like, I got life done kept moving. But yeah, I made that, like, when the people just now here.
Girl, if you retiring, it mean it ain't moving at all, damn it, okay? Yes, Latto ass rehatched all this shit for a moment, which is cool. Cardi B did the same thing, baby, with Lil Miss Drama. Baby, she revisited all her pressure, girl. She revisited every bitch that had her blood pressure skizz eye high and in the damn red zone, baby. Okay? But Cardi B and Latto need to go ahead and shake titties on this girl. Y'all got more in common than y'all don't, girl. Both of y'all sister wives. Both of y'all be renting men. Both of y'all a part of Light Skin Nation, child. you know, like y'all both sister wives, baby. Oh, you pregnant by the same nigga? I don't know. So, you know, just go ahead and shake titties on this shit, girl, and move along. Has anybody heard Latto's album? I was going to take a listen to it, but hell, I haven't even heard any of Latto's projects outside of singles. Latto just never appealed to me. She's not a bad rapper, and she's a pretty decent performer, but it just never really quite landed for me, okay? But I've heard some pretty good reviews off the new project. Everybody's saying, you know, it's a vibe, girl, you know, that you can listen to all the way through, honey. So is it giving all top 10 singles, or is it giving Flopiana? Y'all let me know for those who have already heard it. But shout out to Latto, girl, putting her on the sick and shut-in list. That postpartum I heard ain't no motherfucking joke. Hope she feel better. She don't know whether she done or she's still in the game. I think she's still dealing with some postpartum child. Has she already had her damn baby? I'm so, is she pregnant now? You know what? Moving along. Cardi has responded to Latto, okay? And this is what she had to say. I truly understand how you feel, and that's exactly why I chose to apologize publicly, because the disrespect became public. On that call, I didn't even mean to call you that. I didn't mean any harm. There's a difference in what I said versus what I meant. What I could have said was you was too forgiving and gave too much mercy in that situation, but it was a heated conversation, and I let my mouth get the best of me. When the call came out, I was 8 months pregnant and had just released my album and was extremely overwhelmed and emotional. That's not to excuse what I said, but to let you know where I was in my head. I genuinely felt bad about what happened in 2025 and 2026. I made multiple attempts to connect. I spoke with your manager, your sister, and even text you directly to take full responsibility. I always had love and respect for you. I always wanted to make it right, but making it right looks different. For the both of us, I wanted to connect with you, but you wanted to address it on your album. Baby, I was about to give Cardi B all praise, because it was a really, really, really mature response, but then she did she put that little stank on the end of. She put that little passive aggressive, Michael aggressive shit on the end of it right there. But you wanted to address it on your album. Oh, see, baby, I felt the stankiness off of that. I felt the microaggression off of that, Cardi. You did real good with your chat GPT response, girl. Everything was even grammatically together and everything, girl. We know this ain't your work, baby, okay? We know you talking Scrabble. So shout out to Claude AI and chat GPT and Google Voice and everything, but baby, just shout out, baby. Just shout out to Culture, baby. Maybe she wrote it, baby, because you know we know the school system, them private school sectors, girl. They teaching them babies 21-year-old ass curriculum, girl, at 7, baby. So did the Culture read? Did the Culture draft it up? So she wanted to address it on her album, and she can. Like you said, the disrespect became public, so she definitely had a right to address the disrespect that became public. Two things we do at the same time, baby. We could talk about it privately, and I'ma still tug on your motherfucking weird publicly, hoe. Fuck you thought this was? Okay, we play double dutch around here. We both handed around this motherfucker. At the same time, I have a different philosophy than Cardi B. Girl, I'm not addressing nothing I said privately. I'm not, bitch. It wouldn't have hurt your feelings, bitch, had it stayed in the back alley where the fuck it was supposed to stay at. I don't believe in apologizing, girl, for private discord, baby. You're gonna have to take that up with the motherfucker who released the audio. This is why I'm also in the practice of saying what I say in private about a motherfucker already to a motherfucker, so that a motherfucker who think they in private with me can't do nothing, baby, and have no aha moment on me. Before I even talk about another motherfucker to another motherfucker, I already done talked to that motherfucker about that motherfucker. And then gave them the real whole of the message, baby. You actually, as the counterpart, getting the watered down version of the situation, bitch. To whom it concerns, they're getting that plus, okay? So that's why you always say what you need to say directly to whom it can and who it does concern. so that when a bitch try to play with your head top and try to play with your integrity, girl, all a motherfucker girl can do is be like, girl, I already knew that. He told me all that. All that shit, girl, you think you got, girl, girl, but baby, I got that 10 times directly from the source, girl, okay? So Cardi should have immediately, bitch, ran over and let Latto know, girl, that she was in her postpartum. She was in her hormonal bag and had just got off the phone dragging the shit out of Ice Spice, and she, might have had minced her words a little bit and wanted to apologize for that, so that by the time the shit hit the fan, bitch, it wouldn't have been nothing that was really hitting the motherfucking fan. All right, but girl, shout out to them, both of their ass on the sick and shut in list, moving it along. Let's get into now some serious talk, girl. So there's two big criminal situations playing out right now, girl. The Karmelo Anthony situation, the 19-year-old who stabbed the white boy at the track meet and all of that. His trial is happening right now. We reported on this when it first took place. And we have the Ashlee Janae situation. Ashlee Janae is the young, beautiful, melanated woman who was in an interracial relationship with her billionaire Bitcoin boyfriend, who apparently had just proposed to her after they had dated maybe for a little bit over a year. He had met the family at some point. They were out of the country for her birthday. He decided to propose to her, and then boom. Apparently, she died by suicide. There's been all this controversy about how the story didn't make no sense. Who unalived themselves on their birthday trip? Who unalived themselves on their birthday trip and after just getting engaged? She had called her mom. She had, spoke to her family after the engagement. So this really took the family by surprise. They did not understand. Her friends were saying this don't make no sense, that Ashlee has never had any issues with her mental health, etc. Then the villa that Ashlee and her fiance were staying at made a statement basically saying that the couple had been fussing and fighting all day long. Eventually, they separated both Ashlee and her fiance, put them in different villas. At some point, and this kind of where the story gets a little weird, I read one report that it was a villa employee who I guess went and checked on Ashlee and found her unconscious. But then I also heard another report that it was the fiance who I guess went in and checked on Ashlee at some point, and he found her unconscious, and then, went to get the villa employees who then contacted the authorities, and Ashlee apparently died the next day. Okay, so she was still conscious upon being found unconscious at the villa. Now, you guys know what my initial theory was. Because the public was saying, girl, that man killed that lady. That man unalived that lady. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't need it. And writing from the Lord, I don't care. He killed that lady. That's what the public was saying. I don't know what the catalyst for the fight was. Some people are saying that he cracked her phone and found some text messages of her communicating with one of her besties about how she basically was going to be in this relationship for a certain amount of time, basically get to the whole bag, girl, maybe even have a child, give him a few years, girl, then she was out of there, and she was looking at him like a lick, okay? And then that pissed him off, and that started the series of altercations that happened throughout the day. Then I heard another narrative, girl, that when news broke of the engagement, that one of her fiance's hoes contacted Ashlee to expose the quote-unquote affair. Because you guys know, a motherfucker this rich definitely ain't for one woman. He might want one woman for optic sakes, because he old as hell. He know he gonna need a reliable feminine energy in his life while still wanting to play the field. Y'all know how these rich niggas do. Kevin Samuels told y'all, baby, that a single woman can't bring nothing to the motherfucking table but her pussy and her stupidity, child. Okay? That if you're gonna deal with a high-valued man, you gonna have to be okay, sister girl, with existing within a sister wife harem. All right. So they were saying, girl, that she found out that he was cheating, etc. That led to the series of complications and altercations, but nothing has been verified and clarified. We don't have no actuality. We ain't got no receipts. We don't have no empirical data. We ain't even got no damn circumstantial evidence to support either one of these hypotheses. But I think, based upon the situation, I don't think he meant to unalive her. I don't know what popped it off initially. I don't know who was at fault. I don't know who got fed up with who, girl, and started putting hands and knuckles on each other. But I think, given that she was still unalived, even once she was transported from the villa to the hospital where she passed away later, I think that he ended up strangling her and then caught himself. But by the time he caught himself, she had already succumbed to being deprived of oxygen. And so she was in that in-between state. He then got scared, maybe somewhat dressed up the environment to make it look like she possibly hung herself on the closet door, etc. Then went and got the villa administration. And then from there, she was transported. The family did say he initially called her, said something had happened to Ashlee, but pretty much tried to play it down like she was okay, and that was the last time that they had spoken to him. He didn't even call them once she was pronounced dead. They never spoke to him again after that. He never re-entered the group chat to fly them out, to help to extradite the body. The family had to do all of that. They had to put up a GoFundMe to get over there, to get her back over here for funeral arrangements. All that to me was definitely giving guilt on behalf of the fiance. Once again, I don't know what might have popped this shit off initially, but I think, obviously under circumstances, it don't make no sense for this woman to have just taken her life. However, I also don't know Ashlee. I don't know enough to say what the hell she would and wouldn't do under great duress. Suicide and suicidal ideation can happen under circumstances, under extreme mental and emotional circumstances. Suicidal ideation doesn't have a look. It doesn't have an aesthetic. It doesn't have a dress code. It doesn't have a class. It doesn't have a background. It doesn't have a religious affiliation. It doesn't have a complexion. It doesn't have a gender and orientation. It doesn't have a sex. It doesn't have any of that. So, nobody can 100% say what this woman would not do. We don't motherfucking know her. And to some degree, girl, even her own friends and family only know her to a degree. Plenty of people who end up taking their lives, it was a surprise to the community. It was a surprise to the friends and the family. So, who knows what she been battling internally and what the circumstances were between her and that dude that led to all of that. However, it does seem, while possible she took her life, it's not likely she did. It was too many great things worth celebrating. Her birthday, she's out of the country, and on top of that, she just got engaged. Even if something popped off, even if she got caught being a 304 and he broke into her phone, or she got some bad news from one of his hoes that, she's only one of many and not one of one, it would seem that the next logical step would be for Ashlee to be angry enough to want to just end her trip, get back home to her friends and family, where she can put this fool on blast and give him the cold shoulder and make him beg for it for a year and a half, not necessarily take her life and then take her life out of the country and put that on her family, put that burden on her family, put her family in that position. Like it doesn't even give that she would have been comfortable unaliving herself already in such a foreign environment. It just don't make no sense. But once again, who knows? I don't motherfucking know. But I don't think her fiance meant to unalive her, because if he did, he would have finished the job. He would not have strangled her just enough for her to pass out, knowing that it would be possible for her to regain conscious and then rat his ass out. That wouldn't make no sense to me if that's what he meant to do. And if he was intentionally trying to unalive her, that's what he would have did. And he would have made sure that she was completely unresponsive by the time he went and got the villa authorities involved. The fact that he went and got the villa administration and then they contacted the authorities and all of that, that let me know that, and this all alleged, this is a hypothesis, girl, that they popped off again when he went to go check on her. They got into another argument. He probably started strangling that goddamn lady. She passed the hell out. He got goddamn scared once she fell unconscious, and then the rest became history. However, since then, authorities over there in wherever the hell she was, girl, have came forward and said that they're ruling her death as a suicide, and they have some circumstantial evidence to back that up with. They have cleared Joe, her fiance, of any wrongdoing. Yes, they held his passport up, etc., because they needed to interrogate him and ask him all the things, and get all the things they needed from him about everything that's been going on, and between whatever he provided them, and then between them collecting metadata, they also found that she had allegedly been searching suicide in her phone, etc. So here is the investigators, girl, speaking about her chat GPT for information related to suicide. Girl, this is crazy.
Kwenye matibabu kwenye hospitali hiyo ya Ampola majira ya saa 9 siku ya tarehe 9.
Oh Lord, that child, we gotta translate. At around 3 p.m. on April, we can just mute this, 9th, she passed away. Additionally, her phone investigations revealed that in March, before Ashlee came, in March, before Ashlee came to Zanzibar, she had asked a question suggesting suicidal intent. Oh my God. Through an artificial intelligence program known as ChatGPT. Damn. The question asks, how much Valium would unalive me? Meaning, how many tablets she would need to take to end her life. There was some of the messages that we found on her phone, and others that appeared to be farewell messages. What? As well as others that clearly confirmed that the deceased had a problem with depression. And that was something she did, was something she had planned in advance to carry out. The evidence confirms that the deceased died as a result of her, wow, which occurred on April 8th. Oh my God, y'all. While she was receiving treatment in Impala Hospital at around 3 p.m. on April 9th, she passed away. Oh my God. So girl, the plot motherfucking thickens now. So this goes back to what I said, because see, I had not looked at this before I gave y'all my commentary, but now I'm glad I said exactly what I said. We don't know this goddamn lady. I don't give a damn how photoshopped she was. I don't give a damn how photogenic she was. I don't give a damn how laid and slayed the baby hairs are, how beautiful she was. She had it going on. The friends and family saying they wouldn't have known nothing. Yeah, people typically, especially black people, melanin people, do not openly talk about suicidal ideation, even if they are truly suffering in silence. A lot of people were initially saying, oh, girl, he grabbed her phone and had punched all that stuff in beforehand. Well, this investigation has shown otherwise, girl. She was communicating with ChatGPT about overdosing on Valium the month prior to even going to Zanzibar. Okay, and they found other information in her phone about her dealing with suicide and depression, etc. My God. So we got more circumstantial evidence to support the Uber side than we do the fact that Joe is the murderer and co-conspirator in the situation. So I'm going to take that at face value until facts that suggest otherwise come out. Like I said, Uber side does not have a face. Uber side does not have a class, a creed, a color, a gender, a orientation, a religious faith, baby. People of all walks of life, of all identities, economic classes, unalive themselves. This is really sad. And the takeaway is Black people, talk about your pain. Talk out loud about your pain. So that when something like, first of all, something like this can be possibly prevented. Okay, because had her family known, maybe they would have been able to support her in a different way than what they were now that they knew what was going on. Or they could have encouraged her to get help. And please get some help if you're dealing with suicide, if you're dealing with deep depression, you find yourself not in a temporary funk, but this thing is really kind of laying you out and drawing itself out. Do not be afraid to get you some help, even if you just got to go straight to the ER, baby. Even if you got to call 911 and say, bitch, send me an ambulance, girl. I don't want to be here no more. Okay? Don't make permanent decisions under temporary circumstances. Typically all storms pass. We just have to hold on long enough to pass them, and there's nothing wrong with getting you some help to help you journey through the intermediary. But because nobody apparently knew, that she had been secretly struggling for whatever reason, who knows where this depression comes from? Maybe she had secret trauma in her life. Maybe she had been violated at some point and never had opened up to her parents. People carry all type of fucking secrets. Despite us living in the social media age where it seems like everything is on the table, there still equally to that are people living in and suffering in so much silent suffering. And we know from celebrity deaths, we know from rich people's deaths that money does not per se bring wholeness. Living off the hog and living a glamorous life. Plenty of celebrity kids have unalived themselves, ended on drugs real bad due to depression, stress, etc., lacking self-love, destroyed their lives. Plenty of celebrities themselves, politicians, pastors, preachers, prophets, deacons, deaconesses. Depression don't have a face, baby. Y'all better get over that shit. Okay? So it can happen. It is possible. And apparently it was the case in Ashlee's case. Black people, bring voice to your suffering. Please tell somebody. Because as a result of her not sharing what she was dealing with in herself, her family out here saying, girl, no, she would have never, and had no motherfucking idea that this lady been Googling how to unalive herself, been Googling things around her depression, etc. And according to the investigators, girl, essentially planning out her exit, child. This needs to open up a broader conversation. Because see, the whole her nigga did it, that's easy. Fuck all that. We got now evidence to suggest that, girl, she definitely died by suicide. And that's a conversation that black ass people need to be having for these black ass motherfucking reasons. So don't take the easy way out of the conversation by wanting there to be some boogeyman in the story, aside from Ashlee's own demons and depression. Because once again, girl, too many black and brown people are suffering with depression and silence. And because of how Christian-fied and how conservative the black community is, girl, we don't make a lot of space for treating mental health issues aside from take your black ass to church, bitch, and pray on Jesus. That's all you need. No, bitch, I need a psychiatrist. No, bitch, I need some prescription medication, girl, so that it can open my brain and I can use that brain to communicate with Jesus. Jesus telling me, baby, to get a prescription. How about that? All right, but we'll probably come back and unpack that later. They also, Ashlee's fiance Joe also breaks his silence after influencers called the death ish revealed. Let's check this out. The heart is like a forest. One cannot see into it. Today's official announcement from Tanzanian authorities that my soulmate Ashlee Robinson died by suicide does not lessen the tragedy of her death. I miss Ashlee every day of every moment of every day, and the pain of being without her will never go away. A sudden loss of this magnitude is not something I can simply get over. My priorities along were getting Ashlee home and cooperating with the authorities to ensure that the truth would be revealed. I wish to express my deepest gratitude to the dedicated men and women of the Tanzania police force for their professional, sensitive, and thorough investigation. I want to say that the authorities took his phone too. They took his passport. They took his stuff. They might have took his phone. So I'm not even sure if he would have been able to communicate with the family, because he still got some explaining to do. Like, why did the family have to finance all of this when you're her fiance and you love her so dearly? But the family had to pay for a second autopsy. They had to pay for her body to be shipped over, pay for funeral arrangements. You, the big wig and the big Bitcoin billionaire, I don't know whether he was advised by his attorneys or the authorities not to speak to the family, etc., until the investigation cleared. That might be the reason why he was not able to be hands-on, etc. But even if they had told him that, girl, nobody could have kept me from not helping the family, girl. I would have called my assistant, called a friend and say, hey, I need you to communicate with Ashlee family. Let them know, that I will cover anything that needs to be covered, getting her body home, her funeral, I will reimburse them, whatever can be, all the things, girl. All right. We got questions. Joel's attorney also spoke and said today the Tanzania police force officially announced that the tragic death of Ashlee Robinson was beyond any doubt by suicide. This exonerating announcement marks the end of an exhaustive, professional, and unbiased investigation carried out for the sole purpose of revealing the truth beyond any doubt. The truth now revealed to the world is this: Joe McCain is a completely and utterly innocent man. Cute couple, beautiful couple, so freaking sad, my God, today. And just, and to look at her and know that there was pain behind those eyes, and a woman who was struggling to really grip on to her desire to live. My God, today. This is so freaking sad. We got to come back and have a fuller conversation about this for sure. All right, let's get into Karmelo Anthony. Rest in peace to Janae, and light and love to her family. Karmelo Anthony, girl, this is a case that has the nation up in flames. The incident initially had the country upside down, racially divided, white people calling for the head of Karmelo, black people calling for the exoneration of Karmelo. This incident took place last year, I believe. Let's get into Ashlee Janae, who I believe is a journalist, girl. She has been, I guess, boots to the ground and covering this case. She lays out this. Karmelo Anthony allegedly said, quote, I'm not alleged. It's not alleged. I did it. He did say that, because when I first covered this story, that came from a police report. I think they actually have the audio from the body cam footage of the responding officer on the scene. He met with a distressed Karmelo, and, I think the officer was like, allegedly, he's dead. Because I think Karmelo asked the officer, is oh boy okay? Is he all right? He said, allegedly, he's dead, and he was allegedly stabbed, something like that. And so Karmelo responded like, no, it's no alleged. I did it. I did it. And he was being honest, because it wasn't intentional. It was out of self-defense. It was a knee-jerk reaction. So I'm not alleged. I did it. The defense needs to make the jury understand what came next. Okay. Then Docket Diva took to Twitter to say no independent journalist was credentialed for the Karmelo Anthony trial, including the Docket Diva, a 15-year plus veteran journalist. With this media blackout and only 9 news outlets inside the courtroom, I got a few questions. What I'm seeing in these reports is making me ask a question nobody else seems to be asking. The prosecution came out swinging on day one. Where is the defense? To be fair, Mike Howard is not done and has not put on his case yet. Day one is the state's moment to lay their foundation. Day one is the state's moment to lay their foundation. Cross-examination is not the same as swinging, but the gap between how these two sides came out of the gate is worth watching. The state walked in with a complete theory. They told the jury that Karmelo did not stumble into a moment of fear. They said he created one. That is a tight, clean narrative, and they built it on day one. Premeditation, deliberately provoking, the intentionally citing discourse or reaction are three things they built their theory on. A forensic video analyst testified and walked jurors through surveillance footage he says shows a 4-minute confrontation under the tent before the stabbing. 4 minutes is not a moment of panic. That is the state's whole argument right there. The defense cross was smart. They got the analysts to agree you cannot see faces, cannot pick up mouth or head movements, cannot tell what people are doing under the tent. The defense asked directly, quote, you really can't tell what people are doing under the tent, can you? The analyst agreed. That is good layering, but poking holes in one witness is not the same as building a counter narrative. Right now, the state has a narrative. The defense has questions. The tent testimony is where it gets complicated. Coach Robert Starr told jurors tents are meant specifically for the students of that school. Weapons not allowed in any shape, form, or fashion. The state just told this jury Karmelo was somewhere he did not belong with something he should not have had. The defense attacked it on cross. They asked Coach Redmond if he knew continual high school had no tent set up. Redmond said he did not know. The defense asked where a student warming up in the rain might go for shelter. That is the counter narrative the defense is building. A student athlete with nowhere to go in the rain ended up under that tent. Watch how Howard develops that. The most loaded testimony of the day came from Coach Benson Hooper. After the stabbing, Karmelo told him McCaff had, quote, put his hands on me. That is self-defense from the defendant's own mouth. But Hooper also testified that he warned Karmelo if McCaff died, it would change his life. Karmelo first said McCaff would not die. Then he started crying. The state will use that as a consciousness of guilt. Howard has to reframe that as a traumatized teenager in shock, not a killer processing consequence. Under Texas law, self-defense is a confession and avoidance defense. Karmelo admits he did it. The only question is whether he was legally justified. Howard's job is not to prove the stabbing did not happen. His job is to prove Karmelo had no choice. Some may say Karmelo made the job both easier and harder at the same time. When an officer referred to him as the alleged suspect, he reportedly said, I'm not alleged. Yes, that's what was said. I did it. In the same breath, he asked if McCaff was going to be okay and whether what happened could be considered self-defense. That is not a confession. That is a traumatized teenager who did not understand what he was saying and was already framing it as justified. The state will use the first sentence. Howard needs the jury to hear it all. McCaff reportedly pushing Karmelo is a key detail. One witness testified that McCaff pushed Karmelo first. The one moment is the foundation of the entire self-defense claim. Howard has to make this jury feel that push, not just hear about it. Is Howard playing the long game, waiting for the state to exhaust 35 witnesses before he dismantles them one by one, or is the defense still finding its footing? I genuinely do not know. Anyone telling you they do know is working from the same limited report as me. This is the honest truth about covering a trial with the media blackout. The docket tells me what was filed. The reports tell me what was said. But what is actually happening in that courtroom between these two legal teams, that part I cannot fully see, and neither can you. Stay locked in with the Docket Diva. So obviously there is a media blackout because right-wing media is wanting to use this case to pretty much paint black and brown people as a piece of motherfucking shit. Use this to race bait. And they have McCaff's brother and his mama doing interviews, and media hosts are saying, yeah, I talked to people who knew McCaff personally, and our heart goes out to you. Well, there is apparently a worker who, a staff member who actually saw the surveillance video of the altercation between Karmelo Anthony and Austin McCaff, and he has a whole different take on the footage that one of the witnesses claiming is grainy and you can't make out this and you can't make out that. Baby, this staff member said that shit is 4K clear. You can see it all. Ain't no mixing of who's who and what's what. There is no audio though, but the footage is grade A footage, girl. Okay, let's check out what the staff member had to say.
Was it clear enough or was it fuzzy or was?
No, it was clear. It was clear enough where you see the actual individual raindrops come by the cameras.
Okay.
That's how clear it is. You actually see them walking up. You see that Karmelo is already up under there. He's under there minding his business.
Dodging the rain or?
Yeah, it was still rain. You know,
right.
So that day we were under a tornado watch.
Right.
We were under thunderstorm warning, and we know we had already had some light rain then. It would start raining again, and it was over with.
Okay.
So that's kind of what happened on that day. But they were at a rain delay already. And so during that time when that happened, the twins, their two buddies, and a few other kids, because there was a few kids involved with them, they were all coming from the direction of the middle school, coming walking back up.
Right.
On the video, you can see those four that actually was involved, and maybe about 3 or 4 others that was with them, skipping up, trying to catch up line. One veered off probably toward his way to go to the coach and kind of distract them a little bit. And then the other 4 came walking together. One went in front.
You seen the video on 2 hours. Was it clear enough or was it fuzzy?
In front of them went past.
Right.
The other 4 went and they surrounded Karmelo. You know, if you're Karmelo,
and they showed it on that video.
It's on the video.
Okay, come on.
You can see them.
I want to say little stuff.
I'll put it this way.
Okay.
They actually tell you when you're watching the video, pay attention to this corner right here, because if you're looking where else, you might miss different things.
Okay.
So watch those 4. There are 4 right there coming up.
Right.
That's exactly what they say.
Okay.
And so you have no way to be confused that it's those 4.
Okay.
So they come up, they surround them, and this immediate moment of not even a few seconds of pause, and that's when they jump. And so
they actually did jump him.
Yeah, it wasn't just no touch. It wasn't just all that moment. Yeah, it was a push. It was all kind of things. But Austin pushed, Hunter hit, and then everybody swung. But at the same time,
So it's more than the twins that got some licks on.
4.
So it showed that in the video.
Yes, in the video. So again, you got Hunter and Austin standing in the middle.
Okay.
And you have the light bright boy here, and you have the darker boy here.
Okay.
I think that's what I remember. So I have to go back and think about it. But that's where they were. One was going up and down while they were talking, kind of pushing in front of them went past.
Right.
Austin and Hunter was in front. So where they're talking about grabbing bags, Hunter actually said that I grabbed his bag.
Right.
And then later on, he said that Austin threw the bag.
Okay.
Jeff also said the same thing. And so that's them both antagonizing. And we know under Texas law, I just have the fear that you're about to do something to me and you can get up out of here. Yeah, so you don't have to touch me. But at that point, he still stood there and stopped there. And whatever they say alleged was said, you don't know that until they get into it here. But once they did that, they start hitting him. Karmelo actually was able to back out and try to get away. So he was actually trying to get away the first time. Austin grabbed him, and you can see his hoodie coming out like this, and they brought him back in.
Okay.
And when they brought him back in, that's when you can see Austin put him in the headlock. You can see that all the rest of them are still hitting. That must be when the poke happened, because he was able to get out again. He backed out. He looked to the right. That's where the other little kid was filming, but they got some cell phone footage too. But that's where he was filming. He looked directly at him in his camera, whatever he was doing, Austin camera, and then he went this way to the left. He went down. He fell, and that's when they realized he was gone. So they were still punching. And when he fell, that's when they all turned around. They started chasing him. Austin tried to go chase him too, but he grabbed his chest. I guess he realized that something happened to him. And that's when he went down a little bit and he fell down. But all 3 of them were chasing him. But Karmelo was so fast, he got away and went around to the coach. And so you can see them on the video pointing toward Karmelo and the coach. And I can imagine, because Karmelo was out of the camera on that moment, that he was telling the coach what happened. And then that's when Hunter said he whipped his head around. That's a true statement. He just wasn't sitting with it. He whipped his head around. You see him on the video. And that's when he walked over to where Austin was, but he never touched him. So all that stuff about him rendering aid and holding his heart, he never did that, because the coach grabbed him and he was holding him. So at the end of the day, that's kind of where the moment went. But they assault him.
God
and
damn.
we'll just play the game. Even if it was just a push, you still assaulted him, because it was by your own definition in your word of him saying that leave me alone and I'm not going. And then he went this way and I'm not going. You assaulted him. Period. But they did beat him. And if you look at the, not the photo that Fox 4 put out, because that was one that they actually edited. I have the emails to prove it. But the actual Collin County one, you can see the webs and stuff on his eye. You can see the bridge of his nose is swollen. You can see the webs under his neck. And so that's the reason why they edited the one from Fox and kind of airbrushed it. And you can see they put the locks of his hair that got taken out as well.
Wow. Shout out to the staff member, girl. He is laying out the description of all descriptions of this footage that we're never going to see, but that is being used in this case. So first thing is he fucking completely changed the narrative from Austin McCaff's twin brother, who is trying to romanticize the situation about him administering aid to his brother and holding him, etc. None of that motherfucking shit happened according to the goddamn footage. Austin was being gripped up by the coach who was holding him, etc. The footage, according to the staff member, showed that the twins and their entourage of buffoons were antagonizing Austin, who was sitting under their team tent because it started to rain. So he was sitting there until the rain stopped. For whatever reason, Austin felt like he was the big nigga on campus and that it was his right and authority to regulate who could and couldn't be under the tent. And instead of him taking the matter up with another coach, another adult, he took matters into his own hands and unfortunately had the FAFO. Okay, they threw Karmelo's bag around, trying to intimidate him. The staff member says that he was ganged up on. They pretty much enclosed him in a circle. That there was definitely pushing, shoving. There was all of this physical attacking before Karmelo stabbed this nigga through the heart like Dracula. Okay? That was also backed up by Austin's twin brother, who admitted that his brother did strike first. That was also backed up by an initial witness, the same officer who had reported Karmelo's statements about, it's not alleged, I definitely did it. Also spoke with a witness. They also said and backed up the fact that Austin was the aggressor and the initiator as well. This is a clean-cut, pure self-defense case. And the only reason that is going to be complicated as hell is because they are KKK members who cannot accept and deal with the fact that a black man took a white man's life instead of dealing with the actual logistics of the case. And as the staff member said, girl, in Texas law, under Texas law, all you got to do is fear. Fear. There has to be enough reasonable fear for you to believe that your life is in danger. Imagine one black boy being surrounded by a bunch of mean-ass, aggressive, athletic white men who are talking that sweet R&B hip-hop shit to him, got him enclosed in a gang circle, throwing his things around, pushing him, punching him, shoving him. What the fuck you think Karmelo's supposed to do? Then they're trying to argue, well, no, girl, it was premeditated because, first and foremost, he told Austin, touch me and see what happens. Touch me and see what happens is a warning, not a threat. Or it's a warning within a threat. The threat, bitch, to warn you that you're going to fuck around and find out. We know as black people what touch me and see what happens is. That is a warning. Within that warning establishes that Karmelo didn't want no smoke. I don't want to have to escalate this motherfucking situation. I'm letting you know right now, I'm not fucking leaving because I don't have to listen to you. You're not the authority in the situation. Go find somebody who does have the authority to tell me to get the fuck on, and then I will. But I'm not listening to your wickety whack banana face ass. I don't have to do that. And I don't give a fuck if you don't fucking like it. Go find somebody who can do something about it because you can't. You can't. You can't. Oh, Austin them didn't like that, baby. Who you talking to, Nick? Who you talking to, Nick? Baby, they got real big, real bold, baby. Turned into Herculeans. Turned into gladiators out there. They had a point to prove. This was their turf. And they was going to defend it. My God, today. So him telling Austin, touch me and see what happens it's not fucking premeditated. Premeditated is, I'm about to stab you, bitch. I'm about to swing on you. That's premeditated. Touch me and see what happens is a warning narrated as a hypothetical, establishing that for me to touch you, you're going to have to touch me first. And if you go there with me and escalate that situation, I am for sure going to defend myself accordingly. So that was not a premeditated statement. That was a goddamn warning. The second conversation that's happening around this case is, well, he brought a knife. That's premeditated. He brought a knife. He brought a knife. He brought a knife. This is a 19-year-old boy living in a mostly white community. It's no telling whether Austin is carrying around, not Austin, if Karmelo is carrying around, something to defend himself with because he walks home from school. Maybe he's dealt with racism at his school. Maybe he's dealt with racism in his community. Maybe he's dealt with some type of bullying that he hasn't really reported. So he keeps something on him just in case. That's not uncommon, especially for minority people, girl. Now, I'm licensed to carry, and I carry my motherfucking license. I carry my license, baby. I carry my Beretta Scott King, as I like to call her. Everywhere I go, girl, from Target to the Bar Mitzvah, bitch, licensed. From the Bar Mitzvah to IMAX, licensed. From IMAX, baby, to the block party, licensed. From the block party to the Cowboy Carter tour, licensed. Anywhere, bitch, I can squeeze Beretta Scott King ass up in, bitch. I'm here with company and friends, ho. You got me fucked up, bitch. I'm a triple minority in this motherfucker. I'm male, I'm black, and I'm queer, baby. Oh, baby, I got a audacious intersection, girl. Baby, I'm licensed everywhere and gon' be. Talking about why? The question ain't why. The question is, why was Karmelo forced into a predicament to have to defend himself against multiple men under a tent they had no authority at? We don't know why the fuck he carrying around, but what we do know, based upon his school history, is that this boy was a star athlete. He was an honor roll student. He was an older brother, had a job, took care of his siblings. This was a good kid. This ain't the traditional stereotypical black youth in and out of jail, raised by a single mom, out of control, skipping school, done been suspended. No. So clearly the context of a student who is doing something with his life, making good grades, has a good rapport in his school system, is literally carrying a sharp object for the just in case. And thank God he had a just in case, because look at what ended up manifesting. This was exactly why his ass was carrying something of another to protect himself with. They only proved his ass right about why he needed to carry. It wasn't even not one of them punk motherfuckers who was willing to take him on individually. They wanted to gang up on one black fucking kid. Baby, that is a damn weapon. For them, one of me, bitch, they are a motherfucking weapon. And if they out there hooting and hollering about a goddamn tent, then just imagine how entitled, because see, Austin them proved and revealed something about the saltine demographic of their city and of this community. Entitled, a bunch of fucking Karens. Austin was practically the white male Karen in this situation. And I think it's unfortunate that he had to lose his motherfucking life. And if I was his family, I would be hurt too. Who the fuck wants to lose a child or a brother for whatever reason? Nobody. But at the same time, bitch, if we were going to be clinical, be empirical, be honest and logical, feelings side to side, with the brother, with the twin brother having to admit my brother swung first, baby, as a family, as a trailer park ass family hoe, we would just have to eat that, bitch. Yes, I hate this motherfucker took the life of my goddamn brother. But my brother initiated physical motherfucking contact. And if I'm being even more goddamn honest, bitch, it was 4 of us and 1 of him. I can't even fucking blame him. Yes, I wish nobody would have had to lose their fucking life about a fucking tent, for God's sakes. And we're never going to be able to replace my goddamn brother. But it was self-defense. And had Austin made another decision, such as the one that required him and gave him the option to mind his motherfucking business, he wouldn't be minding his motherfucking business in front of the throne of God right now. He would be at home posting racist ass memes on the internet with the rest of his compadres. And if Karmelo Anthony is found guilty, I hope the black and brown people of that city burn it the fuck down. I hope they burn that motherfucker to a crisp. I hope they Ferguson the fuck out of whom it should concern. Because it would be a gross miscarriage of justice if that boy is found fucking guilty. If the shoe was on the other foot, it would be no questions asked, girl, about whether it was self-defense. If it had been some measly little ass all-star white kid who had been surrounded by 4 black men throwing his shit around, pushing and shoving on him, threatening to whip his ass and put their hands on him, and he popped, locked, and dropped on their motherfucking ass, he would be cleared. Cleared is what he would be. It's gonna be real interesting to see how this thing turned out, girl. Let me calm my goddamn blood pressure down. Because Karmelo, girl, is a black man in an all-white system who is being judged not even by a jury of his own peers, but a non-black jury, y'all. Check this out. The jurors in the Karmelo Anthony case have been revealed. Out of the 12 jurors, all the men are Saltine. 3 Asian women and 1 Middle Eastern woman and 1 woman of color. 0 black jurors. So the woman of color ain't even an F, she ain't even FBA, she ain't even ADOS. She probably Middle Eastern too. Ain't no telling. Because you know, black and person of color are 2 different things. So, baby, the stakes are high up against Karmelo. I hope to God that surveillance footage that the staff member is laying out in detail is enough to make this shit simple on top of Karmelo's defense. This is clear, open and shut, self-defense, point blank, and a motherfucking period. That boy deserves to go home to his family. He graduated. He wasn't even able to attend his ceremony because of this bullshit here. But this was a good kid, is a good kid. He had every right to sit up under that goddamn tent to stop from being drenched. The other young men under that tent had no authority in and of themselves to boot his ass out. And if they were that pressed about it, they should have went and got somebody ass who was and had the authority to do so. And if Karmelo is found guilty, they need to put a tomb motherfucking stone on top of that fucking community, bitch. Because it's going to be blood in the city, bitch. It's going to be motherfucking blood in the city. I'm out of this motherfucker. Y'all run the likes up, share. If you enjoyed yourself, girl, y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do, girl. Send some love to the Cash App, to the PayPal, Consciouztv on Cash App, paypal.me/Consciouztv. That's Conscious with the Z on the end, just like it is on the channel. Follow me on all social medias. All handles are in the description box below. Tell me what the fuck you think about all the things going on, girl, in the world of the world. I will see you all later. Peace.